Hey everyone, welcome to Cal Anime Podcast episode 4. Uh, Today we're going to talk about Vocaloid. My name is Rohit. You may have seen me in previous episodes. I'm the VP for CAA, and I don't know. I kind of play. I know Vocaloid mostly from like rhythm games and stuff. So definitely I have a lot to learn from my cast around me. So yeah, Lex, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Lex. I've been here before. You've heard me introduce myself, but now I'm not VP. Now I'm just doing whatever I want in this club. I swear to God. Yeah. Is there anything that you want us to go over, like our favorite Vocaloid, or?
Oh, we'll go around and talk about that in a second. Just
Okay. Well,
general
I'm Lex.
introduction. All
I'm old.
right,
I'm kidding.
Eric, you want to go next?
I'm Eric. I write for Conchu.
Sweet. Kate, you want to go?
Yeah, I'm Kate. I draw for Conchu. I'm excited to be here, and I'm gonna stutter a lot, so get ready.
Alrighty. So yeah, let's just start off with like, I feel like we do this every episode where we just like ask like the basest question, which is what is your favorite X? So in this case, it's what is your favorite Vocaloid producer? So I guess I can start off. I have like a few different that like I've kind of like heard throughout the times, but I think recently I've been listening to a lot of Mothi.
Ooh,
Nice.
And I don't know, I quite like them, especially because I think I like Len a lot, so they use Len a lot, so it's a plus for me.
nice.
Anyone else want to share?
Okay. Well, right now, I guess my favorite has been Michi M, because I don't know, because like I've always really liked that Vocaloid producers that will make like stories in their music. And like Michi M is his stories are very positive. So I like to listen to that a lot more than the others.
Yes, the stuff about like killing people and like I'm going crazy and like that's like I'm losing
Welcome
control.
to my twisted mind.
Yeah.
Like Marutu.
Why are there so
Right.
many of those? I don't understand. I'm just like, please. Okay, go ahead.
All right, any other favorites?
I I recently made a video about my top 9 Vocaloid producers, so you could go check that out. But I mean, like, it's so hard to like say one favorite, but probably like Wawaka. So
Nice.
Solid.
Definitely a classic pick. Yeah, I have also a lot, but I was trying to make like a 3x3 as well, but I was like, I just cannot fit everyone here. Right now, I'm really into Shudo. And yeah, I guess Hiragi Kirai has been like getting popular, and I've been listening to his stuff a lot too. But Shudo, he has like a very distinct carnival kind of style that I think is fun and interesting. Yeah.
So it's like energetic, but like
Yeah, that's like the beat he has like playing in most of his songs is really recognizable. Every time you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, that's Shudo. But it's like dark circus-y kind of a little bit with like a mix of rock. Like I don't even know how to explain it.
Good shit. That's all.
Damn. Alrighty. Like, are there like any? Are there any like Vocaloid that you guys like hate, or any producer that you like hate with a passion that you would like recommend everyone not watch or listen to?
you know, like I would be that way with like anime or something like that, but I'm actually like I don't have like a Vocaloid producer I actively hate. If I don't like their music, I just won't listen to them, basically.
Yeah.
So like I think there's ones that I think are like overhyped in my opinion, but I can't think of one that's like disgustingly overhyped. So like, yeah.
Okay, that's good. So at least like the popular ones are at least like making decently good music, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Respect
no.
them.
Like
I
you
mean,
can't say
especially-
like.
reason.
Right.
Oh, go ahead.
Especially with like Vocaloid, they have to put so much work into tuning those things, so I respect it regardless.
There are some
I will-
songs though I can't stand. Yeah.
Oh
Lex?
yeah. I was gonna say I have like a love-hate relationship with Pinocchio P because like it's like you want to listen to it because it sounds good, and then you know what it's about, and you're like, I feel disgusted right now.
Oh, Pinocchio P may be my like, or like I don't like hate him, but like I think Pinocchio P is like really disconnected from like the rest of Vocaloid.
Yeah,
Is
he
that-
kind of stands out. He like, yeah, no, I feel it, and like even his music kind of sounds like disconnected from everything else. You know, like it's not like a lot of Vocaloid songs. You can either say like this is rock, this is pop, this is electro, but his is kind of like a weird mix.
Yeah.
And like he's sort of like, does he like do collabs with like other people in the community or anything like that?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so, but I also haven't listened to a lot of his stuff. I've just listened to like some of his most popular things, and I don't know. I like his music. Common World Domination, I think, is like one of my favorite songs.
Really?
I'm glad You're Evil too is like one of my favorite songs, but I like that one so much I tried listening to like all his other stuff, and it's like none of the rest of it like really I really like that much. So
Really?
Yeah. It's like varied. His stuff is like pretty, because it's weird because he has like the same style, but things still sound very different. Like each one of his songs is still super different. So if you like one, there's absolutely no guarantee you'll like the rest.
I see.
I'd certainly say he's like unique and does his own thing. So there's that.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I respect that.
Okay. Well, in terms of like actual Vocaloid like voices that you guys like and dislike, what are your favorite like voice banks?
Yeah, I love Kaito with a passion for multiple reasons. I think it's very hard to use him right. And everybody has like the Kaito is Kermit the Frog meme, you know? And
Really? I've never seen that.
Yeah, because every time people tune him, they like he works, I think, best for higher octaves, but if you don't tune him right, he sounds like Kermit the Frog. And so every time there's like a new Kaito song, which is not very often, people are like, LMAO, Kermit the Frog. But I like him a lot for multiple reasons. Vocaloids I dislike.
Sorry, I was watching a video of Kaito sounding like Kermit.
Do you get it now? Do you understand?
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
But yeah, I guess Teto is an Utaloid, but I don't like Teto.
Really? Yeah.
There's something about her that sounds really weird.
What about you?
Teto
Rohit?
is like so like primordial of an Utao that
Primordial.
Primordial.
no like so many Utaos now since you can make your own voice bank, they're like really specialized and they sound like ridiculously good. Some like
Yeah.
a lot of Utaos just sound better than Vocaloid,
Yeah.
honestly. But the thing is
Really?
like no one likes random like Utao they've never heard of. So they're gonna go listen to a Miku or whatever song instead. Basically. And like even me cause I like make Vocaloid stuff, like I could have used like Synth V or Synth 5 or whatever it's called. Which is just like I've seen people using that program and it's just like objectively a better interface. But like it doesn't have Miku or whatever, so I don't really care that much.
Right. Name brand is everything.
I really wish
Yeah.
that more popular producers would use other Vocaloids or Uta or try out like an Uta, but they don't.
Well,
Yeah.
some of the, like Cilia does.
Cilia. Oh.
I think there's definitely like a market for that, but it's more niche than just like because people like it's not just like branding why people like Vocaloid. It's like there's this whole connection with it, you know.
Mm,
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
right.
that got kind of off topic.
It's all right.
What about you, Rohit? What's your least favorite and
I can't
favorite?
really think of a least favorite. Mostly because when I listen to things that I don't like, I don't pay attention to the name of the artist. But what I don't like is really, really like screechy vocals, especially if it's very repetitive. Like I feel like you should use screechiness for like a point or for like an accent, rather than just like the whole song being extremely screechy. Like I don't know, that just is a turn off for me personally.
Don't listen to Pinocchio.
Okay.
My ears. I'm kidding. No, I think there are actually a lot of producers that really like to use Vocaloid to make it screechy.
Yeah,
It's like
for
humans
sure.
can't do that.
That's true. But like I feel like you shouldn't, the whole song should be screechy. I don't know. I don't enjoy it as much.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess it's you can do it to like flex, like, haha,
Yeah.
Vocaloid can do amazing things, but it's also like I would not sit here and just listen to it. You know, like, why would I do that to myself?
But there's also songs like I keep like bringing up Unknown Mother Goose because it's so good. But
Yeah,
like
Mother Goose is a
It
good
is
song.
so
though.
good.
That's
This
that's
is so
true.
good.
like there's stuff in there that certainly like it's very hard for humans to do unless you're like Miyashita you.
The
yeah.
king.
Like that's what, but like Mafu said it in an interview that like that's one of the reasons like Vocaloid is so cool.
Right.
That like you have to, if you're an utaite, then you have to sing things that were like that can potentially be like ridiculously hard for humans. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Rohit, was there a like voice bank that you like?
Oh, voice bank? I mean, I think Miku's pretty good, to be honest. Like I don't know. Like Len and Rin are alright too. But like the majority of songs I've heard of are just Miku, so I don't have that much to play off of.
It's valid.
Miku's so
I
popular.
mean, yeah, she's popular because she's good.
I mean, I feel like with the voice banks, there's also like so much room to like do good and so much room to do bad.
Mhm.
That like you can change the sound significantly to
Oh,
where
yeah.
you can't like tell the difference between some of them.
I mean, they even have like different voice bank like names. You know, like there's like fucking I don't know. I only know Kaito's. There's like Kaito Whisper Straight.
I have
Mhm.
I have Piapro
Whatever.
Studio here pulled up. Do you wanna
Ooh.
wanna
Yo,
see it?
sure, if you'd
Oh
like.
yeah, because I can't remember the names of all of them, but I just know if I hear, I'll be like, oh yeah, that one, that one.
So here they're all legal, so I'm fine. Oh, I can't share my screen.
I will make you a co-host.
But I have Rin, Len, Miku, and
Sweet.
so I'm on Mac,
Hello.
so I only have Piapro. I can't use a Vocaloid on Mac unless I have Cubase, and I use Logic. So whatever. But so Vocaloid editor is the program, but Piapro Studio is a another thing which is like roughly equivalent. Except you could use it on Mac.
Oh, sweet.
as a plugin, but whatever. That's so here's Miku V4X, and there's like different tone qualities. So there's soft, there's solid, there's dark, sweet, and then there's English. And
My
then-
favorite tone quality.
well, that's different.
Yeah.
These are Japanese tone qualities, and then there's Rin, Power, Warm, Sweet, Land, Power, Cold, Serious, and then there's Flower.
And then Flower.
No, I love Flower though.
Yeah.
And then you sort of let's use who should we use? Just do Miku
Yeah.
because why not?
Solid.
You go in here. What? Sing a song, someone.
Just give us a do re mi, like a C scale or something.
Oh, okay. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's a bit high. I'll do F. So you just type in the notes. I use Japanese input, so
Oh.
just do watashi.
How long
And
did
then-
it take you to set up piapro? Because
You just like buy it and install it. It comes free with every Krypton voice bank if you buy it right. So
Okay.
it's most compatible with Kryptonloids. That's why like Flower is just like sitting there in the bottom without a
Oh my
face.
gosh.
Because Flower is not a Kryptonloid. But it still works.
What's like the difference between the way to use like piapro and the Vocaloid editor?
Oh, sorry, I closed it. They're just like a different program, but they can do all the same things. And I put that in big quotes because there's one thing that piapro can't do, which is like super important. It can't use job plugins, which are just plugins that basically make your job easier. So without, for example, when I was doing like well, for example, if you wanted to make everything whisper, there is a job plugin that just goes in and just automatically makes everything whisper. Whereas in piapro, you can't use job plugins, so you have to manually go into every single note and put in an _0 to make it into the whisper sound. So it's basically piapro Studio is not as good, but
Oh.
you can use it on Mac, which is like the upside. And if you're like not like rich and fancy enough to buy Cubase, then it's like your only option.
Oh my god.
I see.
Unfortunate.
I was trying to think which one I like the most. I can't remember if it's soft or if it's is it sweet or something? I don't know. It was one of the ones that's like really cute and soft, but nobody ever uses it in their songs. They usually use they usually just use the original, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, it really
Probably most
just
recognizable.
really just
Yeah.
depends on context.
Yeah.
I think like
True.
Kikuo uses like the sweet one, except makes it like creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Classic.
I think that's the one then.
Mhm.
Yeah, that one's one that I really like. Of course, my favorite. Okay. I don't know. I don't listen to a lot of Gakupo songs anymore, but his voice is my favorite.
It's so good. It is. I think like out of the male voice banks, he's like top.
Yeah, nobody uses him.
I don't know. Is he like hard to use, do you think? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I've never used him or Kaito, but I hear that Kaito is hard. I haven't really
But
heard
not
about Gakupo
Gakupo?
though.
You know, I just know that in a lot of songs, he's always portrayed as a very degenerate character.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why people don't use him, but I don't know.
Oh, there is a producer who like only does Kaito stuff. It might take a
Is it
while to
Renji?
find though.
I was gonna
No.
say, oh no. Is it the person that did Welcome to the XXXX? Is that
Not sure.
person?
I
They
don't
only
know.
have like 3 songs. Well, whatever. I'll find them somehow.
Oh, I think it's Mathru or Kanimiso P Mathru. Dancing Samurai Gakupo.
Oh,
Oh,
Dancing
he did that?
Samurai. Wait,
Yeah.
didn't they do
Good
something
shit.
also like kind of cultural importance other than Dancing Samurai?
I'm not sure. I'm not like a Gakupo expert.
I
Damn.
wish I was, but a lot of it is degenerate, like I said.
Isn't there like a Gakupo being like a creep for 9 minutes straight compilation or something
I've
like
Oh
seen
that?
my
that.
God,
I've seen
yeah.
that on my suggests. Oh my god.
I'm so sad. Not
Maybe-
him.
Maybe it's because people call him an eggplant. That might be part of it.
It's
Uh.
such a problem because thing. It's an eggplant. Why? Why did they do that? And why is Luca's a tuna? Why did they do that? It doesn't make any. Well, it
Where
does
did
make
Tuna
sense.
Luca come from, though?
I don't know.
I get like the
It makes
Taco
me-
Luca thing, but
It makes me sad. Don't do this to them.
they pick like the most like mature looking or like serious looking Vocaloids, and they're like, we're just gonna fuck you over.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it's weird how we can give computer programs like a personality. Like
I love it.
It's very cute.
we're like
It's one
kind
of
of
the best
abusing
things
them.
about Vocaloid.
You know what?
That's true.
I think Vocaloids are like the predecessor to VTuber personalities.
I think so as well. I saw VTubers start like popping around, and I was like, what does this remind me of?
I sort of saw them as a mixture of Vocaloid and Utaite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is, I think.
Oh, the
And
fucking
YouTuber.
Yeah, and YouTuber, duh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
What
But you don't
about
gotta
you?
sing. You just have to have like a good, like warm personality
Yeah.
that fans like, right? Yeah.
Nowadays.
Well, they sing a lot.
Yeah.
Oh.
The
got-
popular
But, I mean-
ones sing.
They're like not as good as Utaite, but whatever. I mean, like
We're gonna
they're
come
not
after you
they're
now.
not like
Oh, no.
professional singers though.
That's
Damn.
I
true.
mean, some of them are.
Bro, the
Well,
VTuber fandom is gonna.
That's
gonna
true.
kill
There
you.
are some like, but like on average, like they didn't make a
Yeah,
career off
I mean-
singing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
You
the
wouldn't be a
most
VTuber.
But then like
Wait.
the lines are being blurred now because like all the Utaite are becoming VTubers.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like,
Oh.
how many Utaites are becoming VTubers?
Like everyone.
Oh, I mean, it makes sense, right?
Yeah. Like I mean like everyone's a VTuber now. Like I'm trying to become a VTuber sometime soon. So
Nice.
Nice.
I
then,
support
like,
you.
Yeah, you can do
like
that.
Annie's a VTuber and you know,
Yeah, club mascot.
Let's go.
Good stuff. Well,
I'm
what's
an
your
anime fan.
what's your favorite and least favorite voice bank, Eric?
it's hard once again. I like Miku, I like Rin, but I think probably Flower. But like they're all up there. But like I think Flower has like sort of defined like the most recent like era of Vocaloid. I think
Okay.
Flower has like changed things.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
It's just like a new sound that just
And her looks different too. Like she's like more like tomboyish looking too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think like a lot of songs that like there are sort of like eras of Vocaloid. And like the post I was reading this interview with Pinocchio P, Harumaki Gohan, and Shannon. And I think Shannon's like part of the era of the new Vocaloid. They started in 2017, and they
Yeah,
were
that sounds about right.
talking about just like separating it from like pre Sand Planet and post Sand Planet,
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's an interesting distinction.
because Sand Planet was just like Hachi or Kenshi Yonezu kind of coming back and saying like, you suck, Vocaloid, and like a lot of or that's kind of harsh, but like a lot of Vocaloid producers took like offense at that, and they were like, hey, like we're actually doing cool stuff, and they are. And that sort of like, I think some of those people in the interview were saying like that kind of drove me to do more. And
Really?
yeah, so Shannon doesn't use a Flower. Shannon only uses Gumi, but like a lot of new people. I'm sort of like conceptualizing this like new Vocaloid sound. Like it's like sort of there's like you know, like eras in any genre, right? You know, like
Yeah.
there's like bebop phase of jazz, and then there's like the post bop, you know, there's like the pre Sand Planet phase, and then there's the post Sand Planet. And like so many people like Lando uses Flower. Charles, that song uses Flower, and that was a big hit.
I was gonna say Nero Kajitsu and like Waswald and
Yeah.
Shama and like all of those. I feel like definitely spiked Flower's popularity.
And then
Yeah.
Hirage
what's it
Kirai
called?
as well.
Villain used Flower.
Villain. Yeah.
There's this whole like new sort of culture where like the Vocaloid producers and utaite are like, they were always close, but they're now like interacting in a different way, where this community of Vocaloid and utaite has become way more popular. And like there's always like, there once in a while there's like a new like hit Vocaloid song that like every utaite ever covers, like
Right.
I hate you, na 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 na. Like, and then like King, everyone covered those. I think a lot of those are like Flower songs too. King was Gumi.
King was Gumi. Boca della Verità was Flower. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think Flower is just like integrated nicely into this new like Vocaloid sound.
I'm happy for her. It's what she deserves.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I didn't notice, like I never noticed when I started seeing so many utaite covers, but now that you mention it, it's like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I wonder when it popped up. Like, was there any specific utaite that started it? I know like Luz is really popular, but I don't know if he had anything.
I think utaite was mostly on like, I'm not sure if I can say this because I don't have like evidence, but it's sort of a feeling that like there's this, that something like happened with like the pre and post Sand Planet, and maybe it's not just that, but something happened around like 2017, that kind of era, that like changed like the like Vocaloid and utaite, and like it was a migration, or not a migration off of, but like people started actually using YouTube instead of just Nico.
Right, in Japan. Yep.
For example, I know Mafu did a giant ad campaign on YouTube to get tons of international fans. That's part of why he became so popular. And like a lot of people are doing like, a lot of like new people are doing like ad campaigns on YouTube, like Shannon, because it's just like so hard to get noticed on YouTube because it's so saturated.
Right.
And then also, but I think the shift to YouTube was a big thing that changed a lot of stuff. Because like Nico, there's like a sort of old era of utaite, and then there's like a new era of utaite. And I think like people who were important to changing that were like Mafu and I think Miyashita, you probably, in a way. I might actually make a video on him now.
Please, oh my god, I love Miyu with my whole heart.
But whatever. But there's this, it's like Garo and like Clear and stuff like that are like, and like even like Hana, I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Even like people like that are like old now, right? And there's like new utaite singers, but, and in my mind it sort of corresponds with this like shift from like the era of like where Wawaka and like Ryo and Hachi were like the biggest thing, and then now where like, I don't know who's like the biggest thing in Vocaloid now, but like a bunch of new people.
A lot of people. Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Yeah, I think the move on YouTube was really beneficial. I mean, you say that it's like hard to get noticed on YouTube, but a lot, like I realize like a lot of the artists that I really like, they have like millions of views on their videos now, and I'm like, whoa, that's amazing.
Yeah.
The view to subscriber ratio is not the best though.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You have like, a lot of producers with just like, who get like, millions of views, but their subscriber count is like million, 2 million tops.
Oh well,
Totally right.
like KZ has like 200,000 subs, or something ridiculous like that. Like everyone knows KZ if they know if they know Vocaloid, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
like, let me check his sub count. I think it's like
Oh my god, it's 125k.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then like
It-
Michi M has like what is it, like 400 or something?
Are you
like that?
serious?
It's
Yeah.
like all under a million. It's really sad. AV Techno, I remember, came out with like Die, the Luca song, and I feel like he has like less than 100,000 definitely.
Michi M has 352k. But I'm still really I'm really surprised at the KZ count. I don't know. But they also KZ's uploading like a bunch of random stuff too, so
Yeah.
Casey doesn't really do Vocaloid anymore.
I
Really?
guess that might be part of why.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
mostly just doing production for other people,
Yeah,
which
well,
is
I
like pretty
it.
cool. A lot of people have made that switch too. Like a lot of the older Vocaloid producers now just like do production. Like Yupe, like I talked about in my top 9 video,
Go watch it.
is just he used to make like, you know, Leia and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
he doesn't do like Vocaloid stuff as much, I think. He does like production. He works with Baby Metal
Ooh.
Oh,
and
wow.
stuff like that.
Mm.
So there's a lot of these people who've like made the shift to like sort of working on production behind the scenes, but like he also has like 20,000 subscribers, which is ridiculous.
Aw.
Or is it 40?
Rip.
Whereas like the newer Vocaloid producers get like super popular overnight, and then like, but then like people like Utaite more than Vocaloid. So when like someone makes like a hit Vocaloid song, like their song gets super popular, but they might not get super popular because people just want to hear people sing their song rather than like actually hear the Vocaloid version.
Mhm.
I think.
Mm.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like that. I have a friend that like he showed me his like favorite songs on a playlist, and so much of it was literally like Vocaloid covers in English or something, and I was like,
Mhm.
Oh my god.
I mean, yeah.
Like
I got him, yeah.
I'm kind of thankful for those though, to be honest. Like I think Jubiphonic is probably one of the reasons I got into Vocaloid originally.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't know. I think I was just like you know how when you start off in Vocaloid at first, you're like, you know, it's kind of weird sounding, and like it can sound like grating to your ears if you're not used to it, or if you listen to like the wrong thing and you're like, what the fuck? Why would you listen to that? But so when you start off with covers, it's like, yeah, like it's a human voice, and then you can kind of slowly get into like the actual Vocaloid.
That's what happened to my friend.
Oh.
No, I can't imagine listening to Juby covers now. I'm just like,
I'm interested in hearing like how you all got into Vocaloid.
oh my god, I wish I remembered.
You've fallen
think
too far.
I've fallen too far,
down
dude.
the rabbit hole.
My memory is cleared. They were like, no, yeah, I had like the Juby phase a little bit. I think I listened to like 1 or 2 of her songs, and I was like, you know, this kind of slaps. And then I remember being really into Crazy Night and like the Night series, and I think that's kind of where I started spiraling. And then like, yeah, I got out of it for a bit, and then I came back around like 2 or 3 years ago, and yeah, now I'm obsessed with it again.
No.
Always finds a way.
Oh yeah, no, Vocaloid will never leave you. You'll see it everywhere.
Uh,
How about everybody else?
I guess I could go. So I think out of everyone here, I think I have the least experience when it comes to Vocaloid. I mostly started getting into it when I started getting into like all the other like JEDM stuff and like Camellia, like XI or she or however it's pronounced, I have no clue. And that kind of stuff. And then on top of that, there was some Vocaloid there. And then I started playing rhythm games, and then there are like so much Vocaloid songs in there. So then now every so often, like I'm the kind of person who listens to like too much like really disparate music. Like I'll have a playlist where it's like death metal. Japanese death metal is great. We should have an episode about that. But death metal to like I don't know, to like Taylor Swift to like Mario Kart soundtrack to like Vocaloid. So it's like I incorporated it into like stuff that I normally listen to, but because of that I don't have as much depth in it, and I've mostly listened to like the popular stuff and like the Western stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's valid. That's valid.
And you'd say it's mostly because of rhythm games,
Yeah.
like Osu or other
Yeah.
things.
Mostly also I haven't played any like Project Diva or anything.
You should play
Too much.
Project Diva.
Well,
dude.
even-
Future Town.
Even not like Project Diva is like totally all about Vocaloid, but
Right.
I will say that in like arcades there are so many Vocaloid songs, and it's
Really?
like yeah, there are so many, especially with like the most popular machines. So I wanted to know, like, I want to know how many people get into Vocaloid just from those, but
Hmm.
not we don't a lot of those machines are stuck only in Japan, so
Hmm.
Yeah. With the arcades also I think some producers they get like they make songs specifically for the games
Yeah.
and for nothing else. Like that's kind
Mhm.
of crazy. Like that there's this kind of like hype around the games that like people want to make songs for it.
oh yeah, it's a big industry.
Yeah. Meanwhile in Osu like it's kind of piracy, kind of not. It's
A
more
little
like
bit.
there's a featured artist system where like you can where like artists like small and big can kind of like say like oh you can map my song and I don't really care and you have to pay us like $1 or $2 or something, or like some like really small fee. Like I like some popular artists on there like Dragon Force I think is like a big one, but like also they're like really like small Vocaloid creators that like hop on every now and again. Like have you heard of like like S with like 5 O's? Probably not, because they get like I don't know like 5K like listens on Spotify, but they're a featured artist. So it's like you find like all these like random niche people because they want to give their music for free for mapping.
Oh,
You just discover them. Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, that's a really interesting way of getting into them. Normally, like for niche, I imagine you would just like specifically look up like niche Vocaloids on Google.com. You'd be like, yeah, and then you just I don't know scroll to the like 10th page. Like, yeah, like getting it through games is really interesting.
How one thing like one thing that I wanted to like talk about Miyashita you for is that
Ooh.
actually
Because
because like I'm not the biggest fan of like his actual music, sorry. But like one thing he does is, and a lot of people actually do, is Nico is the best for this, because Nico it's way easier for like newer and unknown producers to get like recognized. So what Miyashita you does is, I'm pretty sure he just goes through like the new Vocaloid, like I think there's a tag for Bokaro, right? New Vocaloid stuff, and just like listens to all of it and like my lists ones that he actually likes. That's how Shannon got known.
oh, and then people
Oh.
just looked at his list and be like,
No, I think he covered Shannon's stuff. Like he
Oh.
covers a lot of like, I think he brings a lot of like, he's part of the like mechanism that brings like freshness to the community. Like he covers, he has good taste basically.
He does.
He covers
does.
like unknown stuff. A lot of it is like really, one thing I love about like Japanese music in general, like weeb music, is it's like, I'm like a musician. I like did jazz and stuff like that. So I like really like complex stuff. I just
Right.
like, it just like is, it like makes me coom basically. If it's and like a lot of Vocaloid stuff is actually really like complex and musically interesting. A lot of it, there's like tons of stuff with like odd meters and like weird harmony and like interesting like polyrhythmic stuff going on, and there's a lot of musical innovation. It's like seriously like bringing like new stuff to music in general. Like that's what I love about like Iowa, which was one of my top 9 Vocaloid producers. Like Iowa is just like, if you've heard like Hakushi Hasegawa, Hakushi Hasegawa played at like Secret Sky. It's like all my jazz friends like are into Hakushi Hasegawa, and like Iowa and like Hikushi Hasegawa like know each other, or they like talk on Twitter a lot, and like they have a sort of similar style, which is this like super like complex, like their rhythm is just like this. It's like really cool. It's like this sort of uncountable kind of.
Yeah.
I can't sing it, but like, and like they're also like well versed in jazz and stuff like that, and it's good stuff.
Oh, I remember watching this. Oh yeah, well, when did you start getting into Vocaloid?
So I'm
How?
actually a fairly recent like convert. I think it was like October like 2019. And I was like kind of wanting to like quit jazz, and like I was like starting to transition over from like being just like personally like wanting to be a jazz musician to transferring over to be like wanting to like just play weeb music for like my career, which is not going well, but you know, like
Oh.
Small steps.
like
Take your time.
I was super into weeb music in anime because like I liked anime, and I always wanted to like play that kind of stuff. So I was researching weeb music. Like I would research like some other artist. Like you just go through every weeb musician you know's discography and like listen to it with like a sort of like critical mind. And then like also just listening to tons of weeb music on YouTube made YouTube recommend me Mafu Mafu. And that's when I
Oh.
discovered Mafu Mafu. And then like I got into utaite, and then I like immediately got into Vocaloid too. And that's when it all happened. And then like I already loved weeb music, and this was like ultra weeb music.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ouch squared.
yeah.
No, you don't need to say that. No.
But are we lying, Lex?
Well, it's like
Uh.
I think Vocaloid is like deep weeb stuff.
Yeah.
It's like deep weeb lore. Like you know how like since Vocaloid is like a lot of like people don't like it, but the impact it has on like utaite, obviously, but also just like the like J-pop industry in general is so big. Like Rio,
Yeah.
Kenshi Yonezu, like the most popular like
Right.
J-pop artist right now, like came from Vocaloid. So many utaite go
Even
from
Eve, I think, right?
yeah Eve,
Everyone.
and Mafu Mafu,
Mafu Mafu.
Ayase from Yoasobi,
Mm.
uh, Nabuna, from wait, what's Nabuna's band called?
I don't know. I was gonna say Real and Giga.
Yeah.
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 I was gonna say I don't know. Miku's pretty normy now. Like, you know, Dominoes, Love Nikki Dress Up Queen cameo. You know, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, the Dominoes app. She was on my TV for like some Toyota commercial. It's not that deep wave.
The
Well,
normification of Hatsune Miku.
Oh my god.
I think
That's a good one.
Could be a documentary.
I mean like Miku is like kind of normy, but Nabuna's band is Yorishika.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
So these
No.
are all like the sort of people who like go from Vocaloid into the mainstream. And then also like a lot of utaite do that, like Yanagi, who's like one of my favorite singers, and Eureka. Oh wait, no. Maria, who like sang the Kill la Kill opening. But anyway,
Oh,
like
okay.
I think regarding like Miku being normie, I think that is true, but like a lot of those people like know like 2 Miku songs. They know like
Yeah, World is Mine.
Yeah.
And like I don't know what else is there.
I don't know.
Popipo. Oh, Yavan Polka.
true.
yeah.
Ah,
Everyone
yeah.
knows Yavan Polka.
And Neon Cat or something like
not
that.
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
knows Neon Cat,
There
but
you
not
go.
everyone knows that it's Miku.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
I think like not a lot of these people are like you know, they might know like some Miku songs, but they probably like don't even know the producer who wrote it. They might know
Yeah.
like Senbon Sakura, but they don't know that it's like White Flame or whatever.
Who wrote it herself?
Oh, White Flame, good time.
Miku P, my favorite
Miku
producer.
Miku P.
Wow, Miku writes so many songs. I hope
Yeah.
you figure yourself out.
Her range. Oh my god, queen.
Yeah. Okay, hot take. Senbon Sakura's covers are better than the Miku version. Sorry, not sorry.
The only one I could think of is the Gutzong cover. Have you got? Oh my god, Gutzong
Oh,
covers.
Those
that
are
one's
so good.
so good. I just yeah, but I haven't listened to any like singing covers. But I believe you.
I think the only
You
one
know-
I've heard is by, I don't know how to pronounce his name, glutamine or glutamine.
Oh yeah,
Ah,
Glutamine.
yeah.
Oh.
I think I heard that one, but honestly, I'm not a fan of Senbon Sakura because of like the imagery in there. It just feels sus to me. So
Oh.
It is very sus. That's true. Yeah.
Eric, what were you gonna say?
Um,
Eric?
I don't
Very militaristic.
know what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. I forgot.
I haven't told you guys how I got into Vocaloid. Mine's like
Oh, go for
mine's
it.
a very normie story too. So I was in elementary school and like I had a really close friend who had a Japanese stepmom, and so sometimes she would like tell me some like random weeb crap. Okay. But yeah, she read a lot of manga and anime and stuff like that, and she told me one day like, yeah, there's like this singer that's not real and I love listening to her and something like that. And I was like, I don't believe you. And then I went to her house one day and then her mom was there and everyone was there and they were listening to Miku. And then the stepmom like showed me like all about what Miku is and told me all about it, and I was like, it's real. So yeah, then I started listening to her like over and over again. I got like $5 on my iTunes account. I bought like a bunch of like like whatever Vocaloid I could find. I just bought it all.
Oh.
Yeah, it was all
Wow.
downhill from there.
You were originally, I can't believe you were originally a Miku denier. Like, it's not real. She's not good. She's not real.
Kids lie all the time. You know?
That's true. That is true.
But yeah, that was really nice. But yeah, so a lot of my like knowledge of Vocaloid is very old stuff.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, the old stuff is good, though, is the thing. Like, you don't really need to know a lot of the new stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like it was still really weird seeing the difference in like production and like focus of all these producers like moving from like being a fan all the way back then and then getting back into it like around 2015 or so or 2016. It seemed so different, and now it's super developed.
Yeah, like the music styles vary like a lot. Even the PV quality like spiked.
It's amazing
Of course,
now.
Yeah, no, there's like, I look at it and I'm like, can Adobe After Effects do that?
Well,
Yeah!
like,
Sorry, I was just gonna say like Miku Miku Dance. Like when I was using MMD, it looked like absolute like dog.
Yeah, they have like shaders now.
Yeah, it's like now the stuff is so beautiful. I'm like, is this actually MMD?
Yeah, it's really impressive. They got like hair physics.
Good hair physics. That was always such a meme. Like it was impossible to have good hair physics, and now.
Yeah, no, it's not like
We love technology.
hang still. We do. We love technology.
Yeah,
An
if you have a-
interesting-
Yeah.
interesting thing to see is like watching Synchronicity is like the different, like they found out that like 1080p existed like halfway through the Synchronicity series. So like the last music video is like significantly better quality than the first two.
Wow.
Also, I love Synchronicity and everyone should listen to it. It's by Hitoshizuku.
Mm.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
I love
It's a-
I
Hitoshizuku.
love
It's
them.
a series like and it has like a kind of like Chronicles of Ivilius Chronicles kind of feel,
Ooh.
except better in my opinion, but that's just me.
Yeah, I'm just looking at these images. Holy shit! Like the quality between.
Oh. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, Hitoshi. I can't remember how to say his name. Like ever.
Hitoshizuku.
Hitoshizuku. They were also there in the beginning. Like my first, like the two producers that really got me into everything were Mothi P, and Hitoshizuku. And I didn't even know it.
Because her like videos were amazing, even at the well, like I mean, I guess she wasn't the one that drew the videos. I don't remember the name of the artist
Is
that
it-
does all of Hitoshizuku's.
No, it's not. Wait.
Who was it? It
It
wasn't.
starts with an S?
Sunosuke? No, Susunosuke, something like that.
We can find it.
Yes.
But yeah, I think her like
Yeah,
Suzunosuke. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like her videos, even like at the early era, always had like this super grandiose like story to them, and like she had like I don't know, she always like layered the songs, and like it felt like actual instruments. It felt like you could kind of like replace the singers or like the Vocaloids with actual singers, and it'd be kind of something you'd hear, maybe not like a theater, but it like because it had like a more orchestral feel, I think.
It's like cinematic.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah. And like the actual videos themselves were always super impressive. And even like now they're impressive, and they were just as impressive, I think, as before. So because of how flashy it is partially, and because she liked to use like the Vocaloids like as the characters, I think she was like a way for a lot of people to like get into Vocaloid. So I do
Yeah.
appreciate her for that a lot.
I think she's probably like she does so much, like compared to other producers that I really liked in the past that did that kind of like storyline thing. Like she is still going at it. That's
Mhm.
good stuff.
Mhm.
I don't know. The only problem is though, like I really like Vocaloid songs that are part of like a storyline, but when you're trying to read the translation, you're like, do I have to be at some kind of graduate level English major for this, or?
Yeah, oh my god, the analysis that goes into a Vocaloid song. I'm like, I didn't think this much when I was reading Hamlet. Can you please
Yeah,
Oh,
calm down?
exactly.
You're like scouring the YouTube comments and you're like, can somebody please tell me what the meaning of the specific Japanese kanji means? Like, is in this one lyric, please?
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
God.
you see some of the
Okay.
comments. They're like 5-paragraph essays on
Oh
like,
yeah.
why nothing matters because of this song or something. Like,
Yeah, it's
So-
crazy.
The classic.
so cerebral. It reminds me of a
Vocaloid,
certain someone.
Vocaloid is like an art form. Like,
It
well,
really is.
obviously it is, but like,
Yeah.
part of my like efforts at like, I mean, I'm not like doing particularly well at it because like I don't have like a PhD, but like part of my efforts in like doing the research and like writing the paper is like trying to bring like weeb stuff into academia, and like
Mhm.
the part of my problem was I was reading all the Vocaloid literature and all of it is like, I don't know, like like boomers writing about Vocaloid basically.
Oh.
And I didn't want to say boomers because they're like probably like 30, but like academics
It's the boomer is not an age, it's the vibe.
like
True.
academics who like don't really know anything about Vocaloid, like writing about it from an outside perspective. So like
Mm.
classic like ethnomusicological practice.
Oh.
Right.
But like whereas I'm an insider and I like know how it works. So like the fact that Miku is like a virtual idol is not some like giant revelation that I need to connect to like Deleuze or something. It's like they're all like, oh, we could use this like Deleuzian analysis of like the Vocaloid as like the body without organs, and I'm like, oh,
What?
like and in the end it's like not even that deep.
It's
It's
not
just
that
like
deep.
Yeah.
It just
Eh,
slaps.
it's like basic knowledge that like every fan would have, like sort of couched in like academic writing. so they haven't they aren't deep enough into the culture to like, in my
Yeah.
opinion, to like bring like actually interesting analysis out.
I feel
You gotta
like,
get all the
yeah.
YouTube commenters together.
Yeah.
True.
Because
Oh my
like these
God.
YouTube commenters like apparently all have PhDs, like unironically.
Oh yeah, I know. The English majors went to the YouTube comment section.
Sag.
It's cool though. It's really cool
It
that people are
is.
able to do that
Yeah.
in such a like weird niche thing too.
Yeah, and it's just writing like dozens of paragraphs just for fun. You're like, might fuck around, might look at this 3-minute video 50 times.
Although I feel like it would be good to interview the writers themselves and ask them like, did you mean like a lot more by this, or are they literally just like
Yeah.
lighting stuff on fire or something? Yeah.
Oh, one thing I'm trying to do, I have no idea if it'll work out, but I'm just gonna send out like mass like messages on Twitter to like Vocaloid producers to try to interview them.
I
for
mean,
like the next stage of research.
I think that's a good idea because from what I've seen, you know, they're not exactly like Twitter famous. So
Yeah, I think you can go with like the English ones a lot too.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
oh yeah, we pretty much ignored them this whole time. Huh?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
no.
Like I've ignored them in like my writing, basically.
Oh really?
I've like sort
Oh.
of, I've like put them into this category of like international like weeb music, rather than whatever. But it's all like part of a thing. But mostly just because I don't listen to them. It's like my bias.
There's so much out there. I mean, like when you're able to make music with like this like just a computer, there's gonna be so much content out there that there's only
Yeah.
so much you can look
Yeah.
at.
But yeah, what's interesting is that like these people, again, like you talked about, like they go from like making music on a computer like very simply, and then they like refine themselves, and then they like go out into like the utaite or the just general
Mhm.
music production world, and they're like super, they end up like super successful. So I feel like this is kind of like a sandbox that like people can use to like develop their skills and like
Yeah.
become
It's
popular.
beautiful.
That's why I keep
Yes.
saying like Vocaloid is like deep weeb. Because like
right.
it really like the barrier of having like the non-human vocal makes it inherently more niche. And
Mhm.
like it's while it's not like super niche anymore, like people know about it, but like it sort of is it like the influence that it has over like the rest of like J-pop and stuff is sort of like underappreciated maybe.
Yeah.
Because like look at how many of like the most well-known like anime openings are by like Ryo and stuff like that, or
Mhm.
Kenshi Yonezu. And it's just like Vocaloid is sort of like in my opinion, I think it brings together like some of the like most like creative and like musically talented people into this like weird space, and a lot of them go on to do great things in the rest of like the non-Vocaloid world.
Hmm.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of it's like reason for it being niche, other than just like a lot of people not being used to such like computer generated vocals. I think definitely like the content that a lot of Vocaloid PVs have and just like the songs, because like especially in like English and like Western fandoms, people are more used to, or like just I don't know, people like if you're listening to like the radio and you're listening to I don't know Taylor Swift or Ariana Grande, and like songs don't really mean much, you know. This sounds like super high and mighty and elitist of me, but like
No, it's
but, like,
true. There's so much analysis about this. Don't worry.
a lot of people
Like-
are just like really used to like basic pop or whatever, so when you get into like Mothy, you know, like here's the story of this girl who I don't know ruined her kingdom and then her brother took her place and then died for her, like if you tell it to somebody who just listens to like normal like the radio all the time. They'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" You
Right.
know?
I mean, I feel like it's the difference between reading like a poem of today and like an epic poem by Homer. Like I think that's like the big
a
difference.
little bit.
Like I don't know if one is better than the other.
Vocaloid is the Homer of modern music.
And also just like on a like music like theoretic level, like a lot of the, it's true of like J-pop in general, but like a lot of the most popular like Vocaloid music, in my opinion, and I'm just gonna say that I'm an unapologetic Vocaloid elitist. Like in my opinion, a lot of the music is just like very well crafted from like formal and like harmonic points of view. Like Mafu is like putting 12 tone rows in his music.
Really?
Which is like, yeah, he's using like 20th century sort of modernist harmony kind of like atonal stuff. Like it's not like he's like, it's not like he's making like some Schoenberg like symphony, but he's like he's using like these like cool elements that you wouldn't really expect in like a stupid pop song, but he's using like cool like sequences, fourths, key changes, 12 tone rows, all this stuff that I wouldn't expect from like dumb pop music. And like I think J-pop in general uses more like interesting harmony and stuff, but like especially the deeper you go into like weeb stuff like Vocaloid, like Iowa is doing stuff that like make even like jazz musicians' brains like go like like what is he doing? So
I
yeah.
love that. That's awesome.
Elitist.
I mean,
I don't know. I disagree with these takes a little bit. In the sense that at least music as an art form, I think, at least in my opinion, I don't like calling one thing better than the other. Again, because I'm the person who listens to everything. I think like they have like different purposes they're trying to convey. Like I think like Western pop mostly is you're trying to get plays. That's the number one priority. So you have to be catchy. You have to be able to be sung by like majority of people, or like if you have some lyrics or something, right? Like it should be like very like simple and easy. I mean, there are like exceptions, right? Like Eminem, like no one can like do that like very commonly, but like in general, right? Like someone says a verse from a pop song, everyone knows it, right? And so that kind of like group popularity is what fuels more and more plays. So that's why like it's better at achieving that purpose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like J-pop because it has like the super cool music theory stuff.
Well,
I don't hear that.
Everything I said was like subjective.
That's true.
Like that's just, I think I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying that it's better in my opinion.
Yeah.
And also like in terms of like, you could analyze stuff and come to like sort of objective conclusions. Like it is just true that like J-pop uses like more secondary dominant chords, has more key changes, etc. Does that make it better? No. But like in my opinion, it does.
Yeah, I don't know. I find it cool too, honestly. Like, have you heard of math rock before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like it's like kind of like equivalent, or at least like the same kind of idea, where it's like not everyone is, especially from the West, who's used to hearing very repetitive, very easy to pick up songs. Not everyone is going to enjoy those, and so like it's kind of interesting. Like I kind of feel like super, like, I don't know, I guess against the norm or something, to like things that are like rhythmically and like I guess interval wise very interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why like no one likes modern jazz.
True.
Well, sometimes. You're right though.
But yeah, it's just like I think it's a sort of like the dichotomy between like art music and like popular music.
Right.
So there's like art music, which is mostly like institutionalized now, so like classical, or it's not even classical, it's like modern or postmodern sort of Western art music. So like I can't even think of a name, but like, you know what I mean, like prepared pianos and blah 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 weird stuff, sort of like postmodern classical music. And then maybe like boulez would be a good example, but that's like pretty old now. And then there's like jazz, which is a lot of academic stuff. Uh, uh, Comes out of the academia, and it's art music, right? And
Mm,
then there's like popular music, which is considered like not artistic as much.
mm,
And then, I mean, these are like subjective and like categories that, like aren't like
Yeah.
completely meaningful, but like they they do have like a sort of they do have some meaning in the sense that people working in these sort of like art music like genres are more likely to sort of conceptualize what they're doing as like music for the sake of music, like the
Right.
sort of
Mhm.
modernist conception of music, whereas like people in like more popular genres are doing it for different reasons, like I just like playing, I like entertaining people, stuff like that. But
mm,
so I'm definitely against like musical hierarchy, like saying like
Yeah, yeah.
objectively my music is better than yours.
Mhm.
But I am about subjectively having these opinions. But like I think I'm also, just because I like music from like technical and theoretic points of view, I'm so happy that like the popular music of like Japan uses a lot of stuff that is borrowed from the more art music of
Mhm.
Yeah.
Western genres, and it makes me happy.
yeah, I agree with that. Like, just thinking about again, like Western Vocaloid artists and stuff like that, and international Vocaloid artists, like they don't really have a space in where they are making their music or
Yeah.
what language they're making their music in. It's like it's even more niche, and I feel like they deserve more attention. So I'm just
Yeah.
yeah. When you're like, oh yeah, weeb music is like analyzed from like an ethnomusicologist, like the typical perspective, and I'm just like, this is so sad. Please, what are
Well,
they doing this for?
Western Vocaloid is a lot more niche.
Yeah, I mean, because in like in Japan, you'd probably, because Vocaloid's so widespread in arcades and stuff, it's like not as odd.
Mm,
Yeah, but here, if you want to get popular, you're probably making pop. So if you're doing Vocaloid, which is niche, and then you're trying to put it into pop, you're not really gonna get far in either direction, I think.
Well, I mean, a lot of Vocaloid is pop though, which is,
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
but then I don't know. Like I wouldn't call a lot of Western Vocaloid pop, because like a lot of like the subjects they handle aren't pop at all, right?
I guess I was just thinking of like Kira or something.
Mm. Uh,
Is
I'm
there
just
like a good
thinking.
definition of pop? Because like I feel like popular just means like whatever like a majority of people listen to. But I feel like are there any themes that you think are like very like definitive of pop?
I mean, if you're just to look at it like from analyzing what we see right now, that's classified as pop. It's usually like repetitive short music.
Nonsense lyrics.
well, I
Mm.
would say that like a lot of like Rio and like KZ are pop.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, but like
My gosh.
KZ is one of my favorite producers, and like the thing I'm fascinated with KZ about is that he just like makes these simple pop songs, but they're also really good, and they're like they have like a level of like emotional impact that goes beyond like a lot of most other stuff that I listen to, and I'm like fascinated by the like sort of level of like technical melodic writing that he has, because like basically his melodies are like he consistently writes extremely like catchy and like effective melodies um that have like emotional impact, all within this sort of like Vocaloid pop context. It's
I
really
feel
interesting.
I don't know. Personally, I never really thought of KZ as pop. Like maybe like a couple songs, but I feel like a group of like when I listen to KZ, I'm like this reminds me of like Porter Robinson and like Anime
Hmm.
Gucci, which are kind of more like EDM, right? I don't know.
I
Not
mean,
Anime Gucci, but
I would
And
classify like EDM as pop.
Yeah.
really, I wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
I would
Yeah,
completely
I'm
separate it.
thinking of them differently too.
Is
Yeah, when I
like
think of like dubstep, like that's EDM, but that is in no way
But
pop.
there's like some intersection. Like EDM has
Yeah.
gone like mainstream.
dubstep is
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
pop.
Yeah.
Like
Like I don't know. I just don't think like Taylor Swift and Skrillex are the same.
well,
They're like at
Skrillex
opposite ends of the spectrum. Also,
Skrillex
like
Skrillex produces for a lot of really popular musicians.
Yeah, but I mean like dubstep, like like you get like hard
Yeah.
dubstep, like screechy stuff that if you played on the radio, again, like people would be like,
But
what is
Remember,
this?
like in middle school, Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites was so popular, right?
yeah.
That's because it was like a meme, wasn't it?
I don't really know, but like I think dubstep has like maybe it's not like as like popular as like I don't know Taylor Swift, but it is much more popular than like death metal or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't. Avicii. Avicii is extremely popular. Avicii is an EDM artist.
But if you choose like house, and house is really popular.
And
Like-
trap is really popular.
Trap
Yeah,
is-
trap is huge.
Yeah, the popularity of trap like spiked really suddenly. I feel like because more rap started using it, and just like more pop songs in general started using it. And yeah, no, there's like trap everywhere, and it kind of, I don't know, kind of distresses me.
I don't listen to pop music, so I'm like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah, no,
You're
I
right,
like
though.
right. I like avoid the radio, but once in a while I'll hear a song and I'll be like,
I don't know anymore.
I mean, there's also like these huge like artists now coming out that are like just nothing we've seen before. Like hyperpop. Have you ever heard of that? Like 100 gex. Like that's that's reaching like Vocaloid levels now. Now we're with the autotune and stuff. Like now we're coming full circle. Like
Well, then why aren't the Vocaloids becoming popular? Bring it.
I think the
Well,
main reason is because like when you listen to a Vocaloid song, like at least me, because I think I'm a fairly casual listener. Whenever I hear a Vocaloid song, I don't register the producer unless I go looking for the producer name. But like if you hear a Taylor Swift song, you know from her voice that's Taylor Swift.
Well, I think like when I listen to a KZ song, it's pretty obvious it's KZ.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
think a lot of producers have their own sounds.
They
Like
do.
Shudo, like I said, he's got like the caramel thing. The second like you hear the beat, you're like, yeah, that's him. Or even like I feel like Deco is pretty recognizable.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, maybe it's just
Very
me.
rocky.
Maybe it's just like my pleb, like not listening to Deco enough, but like, and also like Ubnub Master made a video about Deco where he's like, oh, he's the Kanye of Vocaloid,
Really?
Oh.
and I'm like, because he like does so much different stuff, and I'm not personally capable of like telling when it's a Deco song because there's so much variety. But I mean, there's a lot of good Deco songs though. But like,
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I guess Deco does vary a lot of stuff. Maybe I was thinking more like recent, because yeah, he used to do like a lot more varied stuff. He's been putting more like I feel like guitar, like a lot of like harder guitar sounds in his
Electric
recent
guitar,
songs.
yeah.
Yeah, so like his recent songs, I guess you can like if you've listened to I don't know all of them, you're like yeah, the next one that's a Deco song.
I think for me, what I pay attention to, or like what I notice is unique to like every producer, is just the way they tune their Vocaloid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess when I think about it, when I think about everything else about the music, a lot of the producers are just like, here's like this kind of jazz thing, and here's a rock thing, and here's a pop
Mhm.
thing. Yeah.
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 oh, and I think that's like a really important aspect of weeb music, is that like it draws from these traditional genres, which like
Yeah.
I'm like sort of I have like a hot take on genre in the sense that I don't think that these genres like exist anymore, because like what does like rock now have to do with like Jimi Hendrix, especially in Japan?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
basically rock, like just means with guitars, right?
Yeah.
That has like, if you put that in a Vocaloid song, and it has like almost nothing to do with culturally with like Jimi Hendrix.
That's so true.
Like the jazz Vocaloid songs, as like a student of jazz, like the Vocaloid songs in jazz have like literally nothing to do with jazz as I know it.
Yeah.
And so what I propose is that they're basically, because of how American media has spread all over the and like Western media has spread all over, it's they've basically like weeb music borrows from like all this popular Western media and just assimilates it into its own sort of aesthetic. It brings in all this stuff and like puts it in like the weeb blender, weeb meat grinder, and produces this weeb like ground beef for construction or for consumption.
The weeb loaf.
Yeah, and it tastes really good too. So like it's not that it like has any almost anything to do with like what does like Miku jazz song have to do with like John Coltrane or something like that? Nothing. And it just like is put in through this like aesthetic tube and squeezed out into a weeb song. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that the idea that's like, you could call it like a Vocaloid rock song, I guess, but rock in that context, in my opinion, doesn't mean a whole lot. It's you put Vocaloid in front, which means the classification of Vocaloid is stronger than the classification of rock.
You'd say like Vocaloid with like a flavor, like a rock scent.
Yeah.
You know?
So that
In a
means
rock
that
style.
the most like important part of that is the Vocaloid part. And so like I wouldn't say Vocaloid or like weeb music is like a traditional genre in the way that we conceptualize it, like in terms of like sonic markers. Like you hear a guitar go bam 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 bam, but that's rock.
Right.
But like I would argue with that definition of genre, where it just sort of takes like objective and raw sonic markers and just sort of abstracts it into this genre. I would say it's more dependent on the culture that came out of. So in this second definition of genre, Vocaloid and weeb stuff is a genre.
All right.
So you use
Does that make
cultural
sense?
boundaries instead of like what's actually in the music.
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
Although they're correlated. You
Right.
could definitely tell that like even when weeb stuff takes from this other stuff, like J-rock has its own sound, right?
Right.
Then how can we make it easy to reference a sound?
I mean, like you probably just say Vocaloid, like you would say Vocaloid rock song, you know, because
yeah.
it has like the vibe. Like even if it's not like traditionally, like if you were gonna go into what an actual genre is, if it doesn't actually match like the standard definition of genre, you still have like the vibe of a rock song, and you're like, this Vocaloid song has the vibe of a rock song, so I'm just gonna say a Vocaloid rock song.
Yeah, yeah. That you can do. I'm not saying you can't call a Vocaloid rock song a Vocaloid rock song, but
What if I
because
don't want to anymore? No.
oh well, I mean, basically, there are different types of classification. Like basically, it just comes down to semantics, what you want to define genre as. But genre is not the only classification. You could classify by mood. You could classify by year it was made. You could classify by
Rin making throat noises.
yeah, you could do that if you want. But these aren't necessarily genre. I think we conceptualize genre as like the only allowable classification for some reason when it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's like the easiest because people don't usually think about like genre and like the actual definition. Like, you know, you're talking about like the rhythmic patterns, or like, I don't know, I guess meter and stuff would play into that. But yeah, like the average person would just be like, yeah, this sounds like dubstep, so it's probably dubstep.
I think
Yeah.
it should be that way, like in a sense.
A little
But
bit. But then it's like lines kind of get blurred, you know. And,
But I
Yeah.
think
and
it's
you're like,
better
what
for
do I
it to be
call this?
organic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of like people trying to
Mhm.
shove like tags on something. It's better for it to be like
Yeah.
nice and organic.
So
Open
like
listening, that's
with that in mind, like basically whether you like it or not, like Vocaloid and like weeb music in general is some kind of classification because I just made one, right? I made the classification of Vocaloid. And whether you want to call it a genre or not, it is a strong category because
Mhm.
people are attracted to Vocaloid.
I'm thinking about like Anime Naguchi's newest album. They use Miku, but it's totally not like a vocal. It's not Vocaloid.
Mm.
It's totally not. I'm trying to think of like if they're like such a wild exception, and like what would I call them? Because I still don't know what to call them to this day. But I don't know. I want people to break out of that little circle of being classified as Vocaloid music.
Yeah,
Well,
I do
just
think it'd be cool.
Vocaloid.
Yeah, to like for just more average producers to even like not as lead vocals, just like to add flavor, to like throw Vocaloids in there. 'Cause I feel
Yeah,
like that
that-
totally
yeah.
spread the popularity more.
Anime Naguchi, become more famous, please.
I
Other people do the same thing. Although maybe they have. I just don't know it yet.
think the only example that I can think of is like there was like one of the recent Homestuck albums.
Really?
Yeah, like volume 10 or something. Oh, if anybody's watching this and they know what Homestuck is, I don't associate anymore. But like the volume 10 had a song that I don't remember the name of, but they had I think like some Luca vocals on the
Really?
side. Yeah, and everybody in the comments was like, "Holy shit, Megure ne Luca!" You know?
Wow. I feel like that's the way that Vocaloid music is going to hopefully enter popular spheres of music in the West now.
Yeah, I hope so as well.
Do you know if there's like ever been a Vocaloid song as an anime opening?
Did they use was Blackrock Shooter, was that song separate from the anime?
That song inspired the anime but wasn't in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually honestly shocked that they've never done it before because you would think
Like I know they used some of like the Days series.
it was inspired by that by the Kaguro project, and like
Mhm.
Jin the producer was even like writing the script, but it didn't use any Vocaloid
It
songs,
didn't?
at least as far as I'm aware. Like the opening was not a Vocaloid song, it was sung by
Was it like
Forgot her name.
Maria? Or was
yeah,
it
I think
Yeah.
so.
someone from
I-
Garnadelia, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I looked it up and I all I have is this really empty looking Reddit thread. They're saying exactly what you guys were saying.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of
yeah.
shocked.
There's
I
a short
don't
called
know.
Miss Monochrome that has Vocaloid endings.
a short.
And like that's
Right.
all.
I guess so.
Oh,
This is so weird to me though.
That
Maybe
is
they don't-
weird.
Yeah.
Maybe that they don't want to like take the risk of it or something. I don't know.
I'd
I
really
don't-
like to know the state of Vocaloid like popularity in Japan now because I guess like it's not as popular as I thought it was.
maybe it's not
is.
seen as professional.
It
Maybe
is
It is.
like
It is really
TV.
popular.
professional.
But is
Maybe
it
that's
considered,
true though.
Is it not considered like part of like more the otaku scene? And I don't know. I figured it was just like too otaku for them, and they would stay away from it.
Maybe
But I
that's
don't
why.
know.
Maybe that's why everyone who like goes into the mainstream like graduates from Vocaloid. Like Waka just stopped making Vocaloid, and then so did Kenshi Yonezu and Ryo.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's like a weird thing, but like Waka came back
Mhm.
for one song, and then Kenshi Yonezu also came back for one song too. So I don't really know. And then Ryo, he didn't make new Vocaloid songs, but he did the 10th anniversary Melt with Yanagi Nagi, and it is really interesting that I should try to look more into that.
Interesting.
Is there like a stereotype? I don't know. I feel like if you talk to someone, or like if you could find like an old Q&A or something, like why did you stop making Vocaloid? Maybe there would be something in there.
Maybe.
Well, I know that Rio and Wawaka stopped doing Vocaloid because of problems with the community. I think like
Oh.
they weren't crediting Wawaka.
Yeah, that was a big problem.
They were saying it was
Oh.
Miku P
Oh.
once again.
Oh.
Wait, that's so
Yeah.
sad.
No, yeah, that's been a really big problem in the Vocaloid community. I think that's been,
Really?
like, the biggest one is people just crediting the Vocaloid for the song or not mentioning the producer, and nobody knows who made the song. So you end
That's
up with
changed
like
a lot.
it has
recently.
changed a lot, yeah. But originally, like that's why Wowaka like left for a bit was
Huh.
because they were like Rolling Girl, Hatsune Miku, that's it.
Yeah.
And
That's
then,
so weird.
That song by Rio, Odds and Ends, is kind of about why he left Vocaloid.
Really?
Oh wow. That's really interesting. I feel like, well, I guess maybe I haven't known that many Vocaloid fans, but yeah, I've always thought that the Vocaloid community values their producers and writers more than like any other genre.
I think they do so now. Like I think
Yeah.
you can say that for modern Vocaloid definitely.
That's
but like
good.
back in the day, yeah, you know. I think especially like back when producers used to post more on Nico Nico, and so there'd be a lot of reposts on like YouTube with like
Oh
you know
god.
Right.
Like the English translation reposts
Yeah,
on
yeah,
YouTube,
like-
they like if they're like more than 5 years old, they never have the producer. Like
Yeah.
True.
I find this like obscure song and I'm trying to hunt down the producer and I can't find it anywhere. It's so annoying.
that
like, it
happened
took
to me
me-
with Hitoshizuku. Go ahead.
It took me I don't know, it took me like half an hour to find who wrote god, what's that song? Like sorry. I'll have to go find it now.
But yeah, it's like it was like a big problem. Which and like I appreciate I guess the like want to spread it to YouTube and in the long run I guess it made it get more popular, but it did end up I feel like not maybe like harming a lot of producers, you know.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Well, unfortunate, but things are looking up now. So,
Yeah. I don't know. That's so weird to me because I always thought that was like a big thing I loved about Vocaloid. Vocaloid appreciator.
Vocaloid likers.
Enthusiasts. It's like that meme. It's like average Taylor Swift fan. And like Vocaloid enjoyer.
I mean, seriously though, when you think about pop music, nobody ever cares about who really writes them. Or
Oh yeah,
produces
they're
them.
always like
Oh yeah, nobody knows who the producer.
they're like
is.
ghostwriters in the background. Like you know
Yeah.
that like meme about you've probably heard that like what is it like 50% of like the biggest pop songs are all written by two people or whatever. Something
Mhm.
like that. It's true.
Well, I guess in this case, it's like they're unknown, but at least they make money. For
Yeah.
Vocaloid
Oh, yeah.
producers, they're not known and they don't make money.
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, I think that's definitely changed a lot.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
changed
yeah.
now. Changed now. Which is great. We're getting some really good content nowadays.
Mhm.
I can't find that song. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Cilia covered it. It's a sort of like jazz song. The producer, I finally hunted him down on. He only has Nico Nico, I think. And I don't know. He has like 1,000 followers or something. It's a great song. That's why I spent so much time hunting it down. So if I find it, I'll like put it in the cap chat, I guess.
Nice. What else is
Oh, I think this would be a like great clip. But like who are like underrated producers that you should think people should check out?
I guess
heard-
Oh, I'll go first because mine's pretty normy. So Alex Trip Sands won the like Miko Expo like community contest for something. I forgot what the award was called, but basically it's because I think it's I don't know. Anyway, they made a really good Vocaloid song in Spanish, Miku Fiesta. I love it. I love it so much.
I've heard of that.
It's really good. Especially like when you're a Spanish speaker, you're like, this is possible with Miku. So yeah, I listen to a lot of their music, and it's pretty good. I mean, Miku Fiesta is the best one, but I definitely think people should like check it out just to see like, oh wow, Miku in Spanish. I speak Spanish. Gotta listen to it.
Producers that need more recognition. I listened to a few songs by Sama Yuzame, and she's like she's like super niche, but she has some good like utao, and she does like her own like utao covers, I think, and I think she does her own like singing covers as well. And I think like the only song she was kind of popular for is V, but otherwise she's not really well known, but she has like an interesting kind of whispery dark vibe in a lot of her stuff, so I would recommend her, I think. Yeah, and there was some Kaito producer that I liked who only had like 3 songs, but they were like really good. I gotta find them. Hold on.
Okay.
It was by Capricopi. Yeah, so if you want to listen to Kaito, but you're like, most Kaito sounds bad, Capricopi has like 3 songs. They're all solid Kaito songs, like 4 songs. So I recommend that.
Nice. Kaito. I don't think I've listened to. I think I've listened to like maybe 1 Kaito song. So I will definitely hop on that grind.
It's okay, Kukupa's better. I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, like, you're right a lot of the times, because like if you are a casual Vocaloid user, okay, that's not like a real thing that exists. Never mind. If you're just making a song, you're like, I want male vocals, you'd probably go with Gappo, I feel like, because
No, you go with Len.
Or Len.
Yeah. But
So true. Yeah. Eric, what are your underrated producers?
Okay. I'm just like, I should have prepared this, but I'm just like going through. I saved them, a lot of them, in like various playlists on my YouTube channel, so I'm just going through them right now. The more like sort of like 10K subs tier. Like Mushi P is epic. You should check him out. He does like sort of like jazz stuff, and a lot of it is really cool for me, and it's like really innovative. And then I guess another sort of like I don't even know if it's like, I don't know what to call it, but another person is oh, I'm so stupid, sorry.
You're good. Don't worry about it.
they're so underrated, you forgot them.
I don't even know how to say his name,
no.
but no, he's actually like getting pretty popular now, but like
Okay.
it's a Go Aoki or Go T on, I think Go T on Twitter, and I think his name is Go Aoki. He's really good, and he's getting a lot of views recently. This guy called Ryosuke Izumo, I don't know, he hasn't like made stuff for like a year, so whatever. And then so getting into like kind of more obscure stuff, there's this, I think Miyashita covered him or them, Hiragi Magnetite.
Ooh.
And then Soruru covered this one song, which brought attention to this person called Chintara. who has like only under 1,000 subs, and the song is incredible and I love it. So check out Chintara. And then I think I will leave the links of some of these people in the description, so you could actually find them because they're kind of hard to find. And then another person is the person who wrote Seven Colored Morning, Watto, and it's Watto Watto_D on Twitter. Does like jazz stuff. Doesn't really do anything anymore though. Oh, and then there's Wintermute, who is also retired basically. There's Emma, capital EMA, who like is getting like sub 1,000 views on every one of their videos, but I thought one of their songs was like so good that yeah, I really like it. It's at EMA Desu on Twitter. And then another one I really like, who's getting more popular now, is Shin, and one of their songs was so good. A lot of their songs are really good. Shin, and I'll leave a link. And then another one, and he only has like 269 subscribers, but really good music too.
Whoa.
Madowaku is good, and I will leave another link for them. So I think these are some of my favorite smaller channels, and I have to be forgetting something. So if anyone has like anyone else, let me I think I may have written something down somewhere, so let me check.
All right. All right. Cool. Yeah. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. We're back.
Okay, so there's one more person who is like who I was like honestly amazed to see like their sub count and follower count. Like given their production quality is like ridiculous, and apparently their music was like featured on like NHK TV or something like that. But they only have like 150 followers on Nico and like less than 500 on YouTube. And that's someone called Peku-chan, and their Twitter is PECKCHANOTK. And I just thought a lot of their music was like really good, and check them out. And
So
I think
it's
that's all.
interesting. You're mentioning all these Twitters. Do you like discover them like through Twitter? Like, do they like are they like very active there, and then like it just on your timeline randomly, and then that's how you discover them?
Twitter and Nico are the best ways to find them out. No, I personally follow like literally everyone. I want to keep like a catalog of like everyone in music that I care about on Twitter, basically.
I see.
So I'm following like 1,300 people on Twitter.
Holy crap.
So like
Oh,
every like Vocaloid producer that's like not like actually listenable, I follow. Every like almost every utaite that's like relevant to me, I follow. So like a lot. And then also like almost everyone like all the like anime opening bands, all the that kind of stuff, and then also like some jazz people too. Yeah.
wow.
That's a good idea.
So
Mhm.
like just to keep track of all these like Vocaloid producers, because I want to know what's going on, and if like Miyashita you like if there's like anything like good and hidden that's worth checking out, basically.
Yeah, because YouTube does not, even if you're subscribed to people like that, I rarely get notifications when my producers release
Yeah.
anything.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I feel like a good way you can also find niche producers out is what I did was I would I picked out Kaito and Mako, because around the time I got back into Vocaloid, I also got back in I got in because of Kaito, and then I found out about how Mako can be used if she's used well, and I think her voice is bomb as fuck. Honestly, I like her more than Miku. And so I just kind of went on like the Vocaloid like wiki, and I was like, list of Kaito songs, list of Mako songs, and I would just check every single one of them out, and you could find like a lot of cool producers that way.
I see.
Don't do what I did. What I remember, I wanted to listen to more Mako because I thought I really liked her voice and some stuff that I listened to. I went to like a stream on Nico Nico of her songs. It was bad.
Why?
I was
What?
surprised
What
that you
happened?
say Mako was like good. I was like, oh really? Okay,
Yeah,
maybe I need to listen to more.
I mean, there's like some. She's also hard to use. Like both her and Kaito are hard to use, and because they were like some of the first, and they have voices that are like different from Miku and I think like Rin and Len and some of like the more recent like cuter kind of voices or like younger sounding voices. Um, um, so they're hard to use and they're also not as popular. So the people that do use them, I feel like it's just like a matter of there's so many Miku songs that you're bound to have a lot of Miku songs that are tuned well, but there's so little Miko and Kaito songs that like it's just not as much well tuned stuff. I feel like at least that's part of it.
We could do what Rohit does. I respect it.
What?
Was learning from Osu. I
There's-
mean, yeah.
There's also a lot of amateur producers. So like
Mm.
basically I classify someone as an amateur producer like when they like clearly don't know like how to mix or use music production software. Not that that's like I mean I'm bad at mixing too, but like I mean there's like a point where like that gets in the way of like actually listening to your music. So like there's on Twitter, I'm like since I follow like so many producers, I'm also aware of there's a lot of like high school kids and like I've seen some like middle school kids too who are like into doing Vocaloid production. It's kind of a thing.
Wow.
And like there's a ton of like amateur producers. And well, I mean a lot of them just like can't mix well and so like maybe I'll wait until they could like afford someone to mix for them or like learn how to actually mix before I want to listen to them. Even if it's like an okay song, I just like don't want to. I just don't want to like listen to something that like sounds like someone made it with like 2 instruments in GarageBand.
Aw.
Oh.
I mean, actually, I know so many people, like not in Vocaloid, but like I think it's a very common thing, especially with how easy it is to get the software and how easy it is to like set it up. Like for example, like you always hear like people like, oh, like check out my mixtape or something, right? And it's like, okay, your mixtape's all right, but again, it's not mixed professionally or it's not mixed as well because you don't have the experience. And but the thing is about like at least the rap game is that people don't mix their own songs like ever. Like you always hire someone. So like I had a friend, he actually got a professional to mix it, and actually I liked that less than when he mixed his own song. But I didn't like either
Really?
of his songs that much. But it's just interesting.
Don't
to
watch this
find-
video.
I need to find the Utao I made when I was 13.
Made an
Ooh,
Utao. Oh my god.
Yeah.
nice.
I gotta give it to Eric so he can actually do something with it.
Yo.
Well, I don't use Utao, so I could try though.
You
No,
should.
it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Well, like I said before, there's so many like really like professional sounding Utao stuff out now. It's like a different community almost.
Yeah,
like-
honestly.
One thing I've noticed about like sort of traveling in like Western Vocaloid like production circles, even though I'm not like into listening to it, I'm just like in all the servers and stuff because like they know a lot of like technical stuff that I don't. So a thing about like the Western Vocaloid community is like they're into like the concept of like vocal synths itself rather than like being attracted to like Miku specifically or something like that. So they're more like they're more into like the technical side of it, and they really value like realistic tuning and stuff like that. Whereas I don't really care about realistic tuning because like most of the stuff that I like doesn't even have realistic tuning, and most importantly, it's like it's not supposed to sound realistic in my opinion. Like I don't care at all if it doesn't sound like a real human is singing it, because it's not. And like part of the attraction of Vocaloid is that it doesn't actually sound like a realistic human. It like makes it more endearing to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
But that's
would
just like an observation about like how a lot of people in the Western community, at least like amateur producers or something,
I
think
think
about
I
it.
appreciate both.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I feel like certain types of songs sound way better with like a choppy, like robotic sounding voice. And
Especially if
other
you're going
songs,
for like scary things, right?
yeah, and other songs sound really good with like the Rin throat noise. Yeah.
Wait, what is rin throat noise from? Now I'm kind of
I'm
like.
just thinking of like Gigapiece songs.
Oh, like the like the Bring It On.
Yeah.
I don't
Sounds
even
good.
know what that is.
Like a
It's
throat noise?
Yeah, like how do you make it in Vocaloid? I don't know.
Vocal
don't
fry,
know.
probably.
Yeah.
I think it's
Oh,
vocal
it-
fry.
Vocal fry.
They might just be like pumping up the growl or something.
Yeah,
like that.
could be the growl. Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
Yeah.
Rin throat noise.
I mean, like I definitely appreciate like the robotic sounding parts of Vocaloid, like because there's like robotic Vocaloid which sounds bad, you know, like if you tune it badly. There's like robotic Vocaloid which is like it's robotic but it sounds good, but it, you know, it's not like realistic sounding. That doesn't take away from it because it either fits like the song or it's just like charming in its own way. And then there's like realistic, which I think is, well, it's not necessary for like a Vocaloid to be realistic sounding to be good. I think it's definitely like a technological, from like a technological point of view, it's really cool to see. And some people like, you know, like Michiam, and I think in some cases, I think Circus actually had some really good tuning. And like, it's just like really cool to see. I feel, you know, yeah.
Well, a lot of people say like Michiam is like realistic tuning, and like it
Yeah.
certainly is like more realistic than
Yeah.
like maybe KZ or something. But like
Mhm.
I don't even think that Michiam's tuning is like realistic to me, and that doesn't make it. I love it. But I don't like. I guess the point was that I don't really care if it's realistic. It just sounds great. Like
Yeah.
Viva Happy is like, it is like pretty realistic, but it also doesn't sound. It like has a
There's
sort
like
of like
some like sharp edges, I'd say.
Mhm.
yeah,
like
but like it doesn't matter because it sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Viva
I-
Happy is a great song. News 39 is so good.
I used to
It's- oh
listen
my
to that a
God.
lot. I just listen to Mitchie M when I'm sad.
Oh my god, when Oheda Julia Night came out, I was like, this is the only thing I'm gonna listen to for a week.
It's so good. I love it. It's my favorite. Everything about it is good.
God, the PV, the Kaito tuning. I heard his
Oh my
Kaito
God, yeah.
tuning. I was like, holy fuck, he sounds like not Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, he made him sound really good.
Mhm.
I also like that like the English whenever Michiam uses Miku English sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, I know English. I can sing 3 words now. All right. Was there
Yeah.
anything else that we wanted to talk about with everyone?
Do you want to like talk about like producers who are like culturally influential?
Wowaka.
Well, Michiam's one of them. Yeah,
Michiam.
Wawaka's totally one of them.
Hachi.
Hachi's one of them, but
I feel like Deco's in there.
Kiko.
Kikwo. like
Mati Pida.
Mothy, Kurosa, P probably. No, I mean Kurosa definitely.
I feel like we kind of had this discussion before with like the whole like changing of phases and like kind of
Yeah.
like how there was like this prominent set like before and after Sand Planet. So
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Like-
guess.
yeah,
That's true. Oh, you know what I wanted to mention is like in rhythm games, I feel like the focus of a lot of them, like within the Vocaloid songs, they always choose like stuff that's like people who make singles that are popular. Never like an
Yeah.
artist. They never really want to collaborate with an artist for too long, interestingly. And a lot of it is also like
Right.
old music. So if you get into Vocaloid with like rhythm games, you're gonna like see yourself in 2012 or something.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's weird.
But it's like also like this kind of like atemporality where it's like it's like timeless to the point where it doesn't matter like when you're listening to it, I guess. Like that's just what your review of Vocaloid will become is like the old stuff, and then like if you go ahead and go listen to the new stuff like on your own, you'll realize, oh, that was the old stuff. But even if you're kept in the dark about what Vocaloid is now versus what it was then, like I think it's still like I don't know. I think a lot of people still vibe with that like 2012 like
Really?
like
Oh,
rhythm
yeah.
game like
That
That's
makes me
throwback.
happy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
People call that like the golden age of
Mm.
Vocaloid.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me happy a little bit.
Like for me personally, like I don't know when a lot of these songs were created. I just know that I've listened to them and I like them. So
Yeah, they're kind of. Some of them are kind of just ephemeral. You know, you're like
yeah,
Rolling Girl or whatever.
yeah,
or
Rolling Girl, like Ghost
Lost
Girl,
Ones
like
Weeping, Ghost Girl. It's like it doesn't really matter when it happened because it's Vocaloid and it's Rolling Girl, and that's
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Like, I kind of
don't
wanted
know.
to bring up like Western parts of the fandom, to be honest. Like Lex, you brought in like the Spanish speaking like Vocaloids.
There's actually a lot out there, and it's
Yeah.
actually good.
Mhm.
I think because Spanish and Japanese have like similar syllables.
Oh yeah, probably in like the R, like the rolling R's and stuff too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm interested to hear more about that too. I want them to know I'm there for them. I appreciate them.
I feel like I don't listen to a lot of Spanish, but there's a good has anyone listened to Dasu at all?
A bit.
She's like most of her songs are in Tagalog. Yeah, and she's like I think she's a Filipino producer, but and she knows like Russian or something, but she basically like she produces all of her songs, she tunes all of her songs, she writes the lyrics to all of her songs, and she draws all of her songs and animates everything, and it's just she's like really cool. Check her out. She does a lot of really good electronic and like dubstep stuff.
Oh, like
I think,
international Vocaloid artists.
I think there's a Redshift. I think is like Indonesian, if I'm
Ooh.
correct. I'm not sure. Let me check. But I know like Redshift is a thing.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of for like English speaking, probably the most popular like Crusher,
Mm-hmm.
Creepy is kind of popular, Ghost, and Kira. Though he's German, but he like makes English songs.
Hmm.
Interesting.
So if you don't listen to English Vocaloid, it's time to get started.
Oh,
I also
Chinese
want-
Vocaloid.
Yeah, I want to hear Chinese Vocaloid.
Mhm.
There's just like actually so much good stuff. A lot of,
Yeah,
like
there is.
and it's hard to really it's hard to like find out a lot about it because like
yes.
it's hard to find out information about the producers because like I guess if you're like in mainland China you can't have like a Twitter, so there's a lot of, I think if you just search like Chinese Vocaloid playlist,
Oh, is
You'll
that good
find-
enough?
yeah, Like there's this one uploader on YouTube who just like uploads literally everything. So
yeah, I remember I've listened to a few covers or Chinese Vocaloid covers, and I was like, this is so good, but it's always so difficult to find more.
I think you could search by Vocaloid name. So there's like a few Chinese Vocaloids.
Yeah.
There's Luo Tianyi, obviously. Then there's like the male ones. I forget. Yue Sheng Longya, and then I think if you just go on the Vocaloid wiki and then look for the Chinese Vocaloids. Oh yeah, there's a Zhiyu Mocha. I don't know, Mocha. And then
Bless you, Vocaloid wiki.
Oh my god, no, yeah, the Vocaloid wiki. It really carries.
Yeah.
But I think it has this sort of like, because I love like I don't really know. I can't say I love like Chinese classical music because I don't know what that sounds like. I just love like music that's in like Shensha stuff. And like a lot of like Chinese Vocaloid is like pop plus like has like Gusheng or like Erhu or something like that.
Right.
There's this Erhu cover of Sun Shen the Emperor. Which
oh
is, like,
yeah, it's so
good. And then there's a Gusheng one too.
Yeah, they're both like, oh my god, I want more. But instead I just got like a bunch of covers of the same thing.
Sun Shen the Emperor is a good song. You know, it's like the Senbon Sakura of Chinese Vocaloid.
But it sounds better on the good song, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the but yeah, it's still good.
Check it out then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some like I remember just in general, I know there's like some like Hatsune like a bunch of like covers that are just like Hatsune Miku Chinese. It's the same producer and all they do is just change the voice back and that's it. So like it's interesting to see that like there are actual Vocaloids like Luo Tianyi or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're like original voices Chinese.
Yeah, what's it called? There are a lot of Vocaloids for different languages, but the way they marketed them was really bad, so we don't hear about them.
Wasn't like one of the early ones French or something?
Oh, the early ones are a totally different story.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like they didn't know that Vocaloid would become this like cultural phenomenon at the time. They were just like marketing to like producers who wanted to have like a vocal synth that was like actually usable.
Right.
So I think the first ones they had like it was mostly like they had a few English ones, and then Miku didn't come around until V2, and that's when like the Vocaloid like cultural phenomenon happened. But like I think the first wasn't the first Japanese one was Mako, right?
Yeah. Mako.
And then
the first English was Lola and Leon.
Yeah, and they also have like blues singers and like stuff like that. So it's not stuff you would typically associate with Vocaloid. But they just like once like Miku got popular, they sort of just went in this direction. But like Vocaloid is like a company, like Vocaloid 5 didn't do well, and then like I don't even know what they're doing now because like the Krypton Lloyds are so popular. The Krypton with piapro and piapro Studio have sort of gone in their own direction. So like Hatsune Miku NT just came out, and people were like joking, but they're technically correct that Hatsune Miku NT is not a Vocaloid because it's not made by the Vocaloid company. It's actually made by pretty sure just Krypton.
Right.
And so like Miku NT is not a Vocaloid. So if you like Miku NT, you're not a Vocaloid fan. No.
Oh my god. That's funny.
Wait, but did Yamaha for their Vocaloids also like were like IA and whatever and Flower at God are those Yamaha? Were those also made by like the Vocaloid company or
pretty sure Vocaloid is just like owned by Yamaha, right?
Oh, is it really?
I'm not sure. I'll have to check that.
I've always correlated them with my mind.
I know that like
mean, yeah.
Yamaha is involved somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like everywhere in every
But-
music thing, so
but,
probably.
Vocaloid uses Yamaha's proprietary voice synthesizer technology.
There we go.
Okay. So, but IA is IA is for Sevio, right?
I don't know. I honestly thought she was Yamaha, but
Okay, so I just looked it up. IA is Krypton and Yamaha.
whoa,
Both.
nice.
And first place Co.
Well, IA or I think it's pronounced IA is
Because like Leah.
yeah, you could also it's like built for Sevio, which is like another vocal editing engine.
Hmm.
Pretty sure. But I don't know. I don't use her, so
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
and then like I think a lot of there was this new like Chinese vocal synth which sounded like almost real and like was ridiculously easy to tune, and then there's like a few other vocal synths that are just like all better than Vocaloid. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But
now
you
it's purely
can't-
for the feel.
But you can't use the like Krypton voice banks with them, so rip.
Oh.
Even like the Utao software, right, is better than Vocaloid.
Utao is free, I think. So
Yeah, no, well, it's like
yeah.
free, but it's better than the Vocaloid.
yeah, basically.
Interesting.
Mhm.
I should take a look at it again.
Yes. Like you can like update your model.
Oh my
So
god.
bad. It was so disgusting.
Lex will make you fan art.
Oh my god. It was a time. It's not a broken laptop though, so I have to find out how to revive it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we can like end it off here. I think we had a pretty deep discussion. We've been going for like 2 hours, so cool.
Well, there's always more to talk about,
There
but
There's
is.
always
I
more.
just thought of something, but I won't say it.
Yeah.
Mm.
We can have a second one of these. if
Oh
you
my
want.
God.
Honestly, we
Ooh,
should.
I'd be down.
that would be cool.
Vocaloid
Maybe-
podcast.
Maybe
conversion?
maybe if we could do like a second one where it's like the first part is like Vocaloid continued, where we like finish up like the Vocaloid discussion,
And then we jump into like utaite or
Utaite.
something.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
maybe
and so
we
it's
could do
like
that.
1/4 Vocaloid and then the rest is Utaite or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Good idea.
yeah. Forgot to
Alright.
express my hate for Miku Miku Nishite Agiru.
I think like everyone forgot that song existed
I
anyway.
hate that song so much, thank God.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so does anyone want to plug any kind of social media or anything?
I have a channel where I like do like weeb music analysis videos. But honestly, most of like analytical stuff that I'm probably ever gonna make is gonna go on CAA, because like after I graduate college, I probably won't have time to make analytical stuff on my channel. So subscribe to CAA and also my channel, I guess, if you want.
Yeah, subscribe to CAA. Read Conchu.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
New issue is
Yeah.
out.
I made art for it. Look at the back cover. Do it. Look at the back cover.
Um,
Epic.
it was the cute issue, right? We have like all kinds of cute characters
Yeah.
and like cute anime characters. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's also a poll.
Mascots. Yeah.
You know, I just kind of like sometimes I forget how much of a Vocaloid fan I am, and then I look at my desk. So much crap. This made me really happy. I'm really happy to talk with other people about Vocaloid.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been able to talk about Vocaloid this much with anyone ever.
Yo,
People.
Oh my god.
it's great. That's what this is here for. So everyone has fun discussing stuff, and then hopefully other
Yeah.
people can also.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyone else have anything to plug?
No.
All right.
Nope.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah. So we'll head off for today. So see you guys later. Maybe next Vocaloid episode. And goodbye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.